All right. Well, maybe I'll get a little time here to be able to do the promised rig rundown. I don't know. We'll see. Guitar-wise, I've had some questions. I'm going to try to answer. This is my custom Sir Standard with the infamous drip finish. It's a custom finish job that, as a matter of fact, they don't even do this version of it anymore. They quit doing that. I think I got like the last one that they did with that process. They changed the process for the drips in recent years. So that's awesome. Everyone comments on it. Looks like a bowling ball or some sort of special nail polish or something like that with all the... And it just is what it is when they hang it and do the drip finish, and you get all these little natural anomalies, I guess you'd call it, and that's part of the deal there. It's compound radius neck. I think they go from 10, and standard V60 pickups, low output, and that's the DHS humbucker, I believe, if I remember correctly. And this is my Angry Angus Telly, Nashville Telly. That's actually made by Campbell American Guitars. I believe they're out of Boston. I picked this up at Cave Creek Guitar in Cave Creek, Arizona, which is an awesome guitar store. It's Nashville Telly, so it has Strat setup. It's got Lindy Fralins in it, and it's seriously relict. And oddly enough, it whatever they did, it made it so it relics on its own in like fast time, accelerated, because it was nowhere near like this when I got it. I haven't had it that long. I got it in 2012, I think, and it is like just gone crazy with the natural relicing on it. Pretty interesting. I'm not sure what it is. It's a great ad. I love it. And this is an Andrew White acoustic with a spalted maple. Oh, and everything's strung with Diodario XTs or XSs. Now we'll move over to the pedal board, which has some new additions on it this tour. And I'm using the Line 6 G50, I think it's called G50, Relay 50. I've used it for quite a while. It seems to work pretty well. I've even done some like great big 20,000 seat venues with it, and it has some limitations, but overall it's been done well. So that's where everything starts. Goes from there into a Diodario tuner, very great tuner, has a buffer in it. And then it goes from there into this Fender volume pedal. I've tried all kinds of them, and always had something I didn't like, rolled off the high end, the internal mechanisms, always broke. This thing has been quite a tank, and I read about it online. I think it's called the F50 or something like that, and people said, oh man, it doesn't kill your tone, doesn't take away the high end, and it doesn't. So, and then I pick it up for $50 on Reverb, and I've used it a lot. I've had to do a little maintenance on it, of course, because I'm on it all the time. You just have to take it apart and lube it and tighten things up. But overall, it's been actually really good. So it goes from the volume pedal into my exotic SP compressor, which I love. It has the blend control. So this great compressor. Use that for a variety of things. Goes from the compressor into my exotic soul driven, which is kind of a core sound. I know it's kind of it's got a little dirty. It's a great, just a light overdrive, I guess you'd call it. But you can see I have it running really low with the output all the way up, and it's kind of it adds a little grit, and it's more kind of a tone shape, just a little tone box. I leave it on most of the time for this gig in particular. And then that goes into my Strymon Riverside overdrive, which is new on this tour. And it's a cool overdrive unit. It's kind of 2-channel-ish, but it's really a single channel JFET analog overdrive with digital controls in it and a bunch of different settings, which is very cool. So you can dial up one setting and have another setting that is called a favorite, and it has different gain structures, so you can have kind of just a light gain and then store a high gain setting, which is how I use it. So I'll have a light gain on there, and then my favorite is a high gain, but without touching it. It's remembered it internally because of digital controls. Well, the other cool thing about it is the processor. Like when you take like a TS, or most overdrives, or like let's say a TS overdrive, and the more you crank it, then it gets harsh and kind of nasty on the top end. And so then you have to dial it down, the tone knob, and sometimes you have to have two different ones to accomplish some things. Anyway, this takes into account, as you turn up the drive on the gain, the processor inside takes into account that whole nastiness of the high end and automatically dials it back internally, and compensates for when you change settings, parameters on the it's really cool, actually. So that's it's a great box. I really like it, and it has a boost, so a solo boost on either channel, for lack of a better term. So it's called a multi-stage drive because it has some, exactly multi-stages of gain. So it's not just like one, gain knob and turn it up. I don't know. It's really, really cool. In fact, a lot of people have heard it and said they're going to get one. And Jason being one of them, because he plays guitar too. So that goes into my old Beta Vibe, which is my rotating speaker, vibe unit, chorusy type stuff. Had it a long time, and I love it, and so I just keep using it. And then it goes into the Exotic EP booster, which is an always-on box. It is definitely just a tone livener, for lack of a better term. An EP means Echoplex. That's the so basically simulates an Echoplex preamp, which guys used back in the day. They'd use Echoplexes a lot of times just for the preamp in it to get more juice, whatever, kind of, I guess. I just like what it does. So, and then that goes into the very newest, in fact only 2 days before I left on tour, the Strymon Cloudburst ambient reverb, which is pretty amazing. I was glad I ran across it because on this tour we're doing Days of Future Past, the entire album, which includes tons of orchestra stuff. And I heard what this does. It's amazing. I'll demonstrate it. And it makes the guitar sound like violins and stuff. And the reverb sound, it's really, really cool. So going into that, coming stereo out, going into the wonderful Timeline stereo in. Strymon Timeline delay. I mean, it's, this is the creme de la creme as far as I'm concerned. And I don't use enough of the potential, but I love the D bucket, which is the Deluxe Memory Man Bucket Brigade. I love Deluxe Memory Mans, but they are problematic. And so this has great sound and eliminates that. And this goes out to this, which is expression pedal, which brings in the delay level mix. It just turns it up and down so I can bring it in as I like. Then it all feeds stereo into the Zen Go by Antelope, which is I stumbled upon. This is a hybrid setup, analog / digital modeling. So I ran across this. I wanted a portable recording device for my MacBook Pro. And so that's how I got turned on to this initially. But then I found out that the amp sims and cab sims and microphone sims are fantastic. The amp models are just great in here. And so I started getting the thought that I could utilize this live, have a real consistent, easy set of, get my sound, any level, anywhere, and it is working great. So these two go to the front of the house, run in stereo, using two Fender style black faces, and to two different cabinets. One's a Fender style cabinet, 212, and then the other one is a Marshall type of 212. And then I'm using Royer mic sim and 57 mic sims, and running it. So it's wonderful. It's really great. I love it. And then I'm going out stereo out of these other outputs back to, in today's case, two Fender DeVilles, and they're pretty low. I mean, they just give a little bit of feel. They're both right around, not even at 2. But it gives a nice stereo feel, and that's it's awesome. So that's the rig, and so now I will attempt to reset the camera up and actually do some demo of it. All right. Well, let's start out with a straight up clean tone. Just the straight up clean tone EP booster on. The SP compressor with low compression, and just a little bit of a clean boost. So now let's do something with the SP compressor, and let's add some delay and cloudburst on the regular reverb. Obviously, police, right? Let's turn on the soul driven. So that is the soul driven, exotic soul driven. A little bit of Strymon delay there. So let's kick in the side one of the Riverside overdrive. Let's see. Side one of the Riverside, and obviously I kicked in a little bit of the Beta vibe to show it. And then we can go up to the higher gain setting, which is the favorite side of the river, the favorites of the Riverside. That's pretty much full on everything for the overdrive, high gain, a little bit of delay. That's good. It's a good rig. I love it. Oh, I know. The Cloudburst. Here's a Cloudburst doing kind of violin sounds. So there it is. The Cloudburst is awesome, and it fits exactly what I needed for this tour. So that's the rig rundown that I've promised a lot of people. You know, it's kind of hard to think about what to play on this thing. Just don't be harsh. Did the best I could. All right. Peace. Oh.